Success comes when you change the way you think about life. It comes when you start thinking differently, when you start looking at the world in a new way. Let me take you back to when I realized this. I was 25 years old. I was struggling. And I felt like I had no way out. My finances were in shambles and I could barely afford the simplest things. And then there was this one moment that changed everything. It wasn't some dramatic event. It wasn't some huge breakthrough. No, it was something small. But it was that small moment that made me realize just how much I needed to change my life. It was a day when I couldn't even afford a box of Girl Scout cookies. You might be thinking, why does that matter? It's just cookies, but in that moment, it wasn't just about the cookies. It was about the fact that I couldn't afford them. It was a wake-up call. It made me realize just how far I had fallen and how stuck I truly was. I was living a life that wasn't working, and I had to do something about it. So I did what any person would do in that situation. I decided to make a change. But it wasn't just any change. I wasn't going to just work harder or try to push through. No, I knew I needed something bigger than that. I needed new ideas. I needed to change my thinking, my approach, my mindset. I started seeking answers, looking for people who had already figured it out, who had the knowledge I needed to break free from the rut I was in. And that's when things began to change for me. It wasn't immediate. It wasn't easy. But little by little, as I started looking for new ideas, as I started talking to people who had been where I was and had found their way out, my life began to shift. I started to see things differently. I started thinking differently. I realized that the only way to change my life was to change my mindset. The world is full of ideas, powerful, life-changing ideas. But here's the thing, ideas don't come to you by accident. You have to go looking for them. You have to actively search for them. You have to be hungry for new knowledge. You have to keep your mind open and ready to receive whatever comes your way. At first, it might feel like you're not getting anywhere. You might read book after book or attend seminar after seminar and feel like nothing is clicking. But trust me, that's normal. The key is to keep going. Keep seeking, keep learning, and keep looking for the answers. Because when the right idea hits you at the right time, it will change everything. When I was searching for answers, I found myself reading more than I ever had before. I attended seminars and workshops. I met people who had the success I dreamed of. I listened to their stories, took notes, and absorbed everything I could. I wasn't afraid to learn, to grow, to change. And eventually, the right idea came. It wasn't just any idea, it was a life-changing idea. An idea that gave me the direction I had been searching for. And from that point on, everything started to change. As I began to absorb these new ideas, something incredible happened. I started noticing opportunities that I had never seen before. They were all around me, just waiting for someone to see them. But it wasn't until I changed the way I was thinking that I could finally see them. And once I did, it felt like the doors to my future swung wide open. I can't stress this enough, ideas are the building blocks of success. But they are only valuable if you are ready to receive them. It's like trying to plant a seed in the wrong soil. No matter how good the seed is, if the soil isn't prepared to receive it, nothing will grow. It's the same with your ideas. You have to prepare your mind, your life, and your environment to receive them. Ideas don't always come when we expect them. And they don't always come in grand ways. Sometimes they come in the simplest moments. A conversation with a stranger, a book you pick up on a whim, or a small incident that causes you to stop and think. These moments may seem insignificant at first, but they carry the seeds of change. The key is to recognize them, to pay attention, and to take action.